We're just getting older, world is getting colder, trying to get sober. Lord help me get stronger, world is on my shoulders. How you doing today? This is the 12 of 12 podcast, the podcast about real life, recovery, growth and development, redemption, because that's what this is about. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, do me a favor, tap that subscribe button and share for more. Also, we are sponsored by First Step Recovery. If you happen to suffer from substance abuse disorder or severe mental illness, do not hesitate to reach out and contact them today. You see the outreach specialist up top? Reach out to that number. If you know anybody who needs that help, reach out to that number. They'll be happy to help you today. We have a special guest today. It's Brittany.
Yes, my name is Brittany. I'm an alcoholic. My sobriety date's 5/28/24. Upon awakening, I did and do make a deep and personal commitment to stay clean and sober just for today.
That's what's up. Mm-hmm. Thanks for coming on, Brittany.
Yeah,
appreciate that. Been a while. She said she was going to be on here.
Yes.
In a good little minute. She's been ducking and dodging.
I have, but I'm here today, so that's all that matters.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It takes courage. And remember, if you want to come on and share your story matters, contact us. We'll set it up. We'll be happy to have you. So, where you from, Brittany?
I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, born and raised.
Born and raised.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. And when's the first time you ever started drinking?
I started drinking when I was about, I would say 15. I started drinking, but mainly I started smoking weed. I wasn't really a big drinker. I started smoking weed at the age 15 and then so on from that.
So weed was the first thing that you were introduced to?
Yes, weed was. Mm-hmm.
So where did the alcohol come from with weed?
The alcohol just came from wanting to party with people, you know, all my friends they would throw hotel parties, and I started throwing hotel parties with them, and we just started getting drunk together. But I mainly wanted to smoke weed. I wasn't a real big drinker until I turned like 17.
So what was the difference from how you felt from when you smoked weed and from when you drunk?
So when I smoked weed, I was able to, you know, laugh, giggle, and like numb the pain. When I got drunk, that's when all my emotions started coming out. Like I started to feel sad and cry and, you know, do all those little sob stories when I got drunk. So I didn't like that. Yeah.
So what do you think was causing the problem eternally that had you feeling sad, that you were suffering from a depression or anxiety or something? What happened? I
would have to say, so during my whole childhood, all I wanted was love from my family, love from my mom, my dad, my brothers, because I'm the youngest child and the only girl. So I just wanted them to treat me like, you know, something special. And I didn't have that. Like, for one, my mom was never home. My dad, he's in addiction. My mom's in addiction too. My stepdad's in addiction as well. My brothers really aren't in addiction. They smoke weed here and there, but they are able to handle it. But I just wanted them to be there for me, you know, like I was always in the family. So they allowed me to just go out there and do whatever I wanted to do. As long as my mom was the type, as long as I was doing it under her roof, it was okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then when I turned 18, I eventually, one day I remember my mom had a line of Coke on the table. And I was like, let me try it. And she did. I wasn't expecting her to let me try it. And from there on, I was doing cocaine for at least 2 or 3 years. And then I got introduced to methamphetamine. Mm-hmm. And when I got introduced to that right there, like, changed my whole life. I started to talk more to people. I started to be more out in the public. I became a stripper. I became, you know, like, just out there. And, you know, like, but meth was like my favorite drug. So that was like my main drug of choice, you know. Yeah, that's what I decided to choose.
People told me that the meth it definitely like numbed the pain.
Yes, it numbed
like
every.
It made you not really care about anything from the people that I've
Yes, I would
before.
get high and all my problems would go away. And you know, it made me feel really good. Like, I was in abusive relationships growing up from 16 all the way up till at least 26.
What do you think it was? You think it was just you were attracting the people? I mean, you attracted that abusive relationship? How did you think you fell into that?
I think I fell into that because I watched my mom get abused. And I thought that was okay. I thought, like, if a man doesn't treat me like this, then they don't love me. You know, I thought that was love growing up. Yeah.
So it was like the example that you seen, and you was like, okay, if someone treats me good, then that's not real love.
Yeah. That was my thinking then. Now I know, since I've been sober and stuff, that that's not the way I want to have my relationships. That's not the way I want to live, especially now that I have kids. Like, if I'm going to be with someone, I'm going to be with someone that's going to show me respect. That way they can, show whoever they end up with respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. I mean, because at the end of the day, none of you people out there listening, you don't deserve to be in an abusive relationship. It doesn't matter if the person's telling you they love you and they abuse you. That's a lie from the pit of hell. And they probably going through a bunch of bull crap themselves. And hurt people.
Yeah.
Literally just had this conversation with someone the other day on the podcast, and they felt the same way when people see abusive relationships or they in it, and then next thing you know, it's like, you know what? If I'm not being treated bad, I don't think that person loves me. So you just get a kind of twisted idea of what love is, right?
Yeah, definitely. It has affected like my relationships now today, because I'm so used to being in abusive relationships and being able to numb my pain and think that everything's okay, to now that I'm sober and I, have people that come into my life and that want to treat me good, but I tend to push them away because I'm so used to the toxic stuff. Yeah, and I don't have drugs today to numb that pain since I'm sober.
Okay, since you haven't been using, how has your inner being been doing since then? How has it been? Have you still been dealing with like certain depression and things like that?
So in the beginning of me getting sober, yes, I dealt with a lot of depression, and I think that's just because all my feelings were coming back, and I'm actually being able to feel these things now, because I hid that in the dirt by getting high. Like, I covered that up. So in the beginning, yes, I was feeling all those pains. Now I'm able to cope with those things. Like, I have a lot of coping skills. I'm able to talk to a therapist. I didn't have a therapist when I was getting high in the madness. I just would deal with it by getting high. So now I'm able to talk about it, and I don't have to deal with those things. Like, I was on a lot of medications, but here recently I have taken myself off the medications, and I've been off medications for about 2 months because I'm able to deal with it by coping with my coping skills.
Oh, that's great. And you've been doing a lot better since then, right?
Yes, a lot better.
So much better to get the help that you need without using.
Yeah, it definitely feels great.
That's a great thing, because so many people just mask it with mask their pain with using.
Yeah.
I know I did, definitely. Hey, I'm gonna get high, I wanna get drink, because I'm trying to cover up the internal trauma that I have going on, and it's just that's all it is you have to get rid of that and learn how to deal with that. And I always say this: learn how to forgive. Once you forgive other people, then forgive yourself, you're able to move forward and not keep that weight on your back.
Yeah, definitely. I had to forgive my mom and dad for the way they raised me, because now that I'm sober and grown enough to take a look at, like, they raised me the best that they could raise me, so I don't hold any grudges with them for that anymore. Now, when the madness, I hated them. I couldn't stand them, I always used to want to be adopted in the madness, but like I said, being sober today, I'm able to, cope with those things, and I'm able to understand, especially now that I have my own kids. Like, it's hard being a parent, they've seen me go through my worst struggles, and that's why I've decided to get clean at the ages they are, 1 and 2. That way they don't have to watch me go through addiction like I watched my parents go through addiction.
Yeah, you're trying to break that generational curse.
Yeah.
The thing that you've seen them go through, you definitely want to trickle down to your kids.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. So you was in an abusive relationship for 10 years?
Yeah, pretty much on and off. It wasn't with the same person. My first love used to abuse me. And it wasn't physically abuse. It was like mental abuse. But I also was doing things. I won't say I was doing things that caused him to abuse me, but I was at the same time. Because for one, I was still getting high and lying to him and doing these things that I shouldn't have done. And then a relationship after that, it just kept getting more and more abusive, but worse, the beatings and things like that. And it was terrible. It was really terrible. Especially, I will not forget this one relationship I was in. He had got shot 4 times, and I was taking care of him. I was bathing him, peeing him, changing his diaper, doing all those things that you do as a caregiver while he was still being abusive to me, like putting his hands on me, holding guns to my head, you know, and things like that. And something that sits with me tough is that my first son, I only have him because of a robbery. The guy that I was with made me rob someone, and the only way I could rob him was doing things that I didn't want to do, and I ended up with a son after that.
Dang, so the father of the son is
the guy we robbed.
What?
Yes.
Dang.
Yes.
And what happened to the guy that you robbed?
He's
still around?
He's still around. We obviously don't communicate because who would want to communicate with someone who robbed them?
Yeah, he doesn't trust you.
Yeah, of course he doesn't trust me, and he doesn't want anything to do with me. So eventually I'm going to have to explain that to my son, and he is probably going to be hurt one day. So it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Hopefully things will be worked out eventually.
Yeah. I pray for it.
Yeah. Keep praying that miracles happen.
Yeah.
Don't give up. One day at a time, one step at a time, God first.
Yeah.
So, was it when you had your kid that you was like, you know what, I'm done with this lifestyle?
I wish I could say that, but I chose meth over my kids. My last child, she's 1. I had her April 20th, 2024. I would say that was my last go around, but she was supposed to come May 10th. And she came early. And I think that was God's way of showing me that, like, I'm going to sit you down whether you like it or not. So when I gave birth to her, she had drugs in her system. I had drugs in my system. And they allowed me to they didn't allow me to take her home for 5 days. They made me go take a drug test. And me, with the addict behavior that I have, I decided to drink baking soda. Which caused me to pass the drug test. So I was able to take her home after 5 days. So let me rewind that. I got high in the bathroom at the hospital right after I had her. So I wasn't even thinking about, the consequences that was going to happen. But then they allowed me to take her home after 5 days. And after I brought her home, my CPS got involved, and they wanted me to go to outpatient. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm still not ready to stop smoking, but it's outpatient. I can get bypast them. Started filling drug tests still. 2 weeks go by. They're finally like, you're going to have to go to rehab, which is, it was the Freedom House at the VOA, Volunteers of America. And I was going to have to give my kids to my mom. Well, my first thought was, well, my mom's an addict too. Like, that's not fair, So what do I do? So I prayed on it for 3 days. As I'm still getting high, I'm still, praying on it and trying to figure out, like, do I tell my CPS worker that my mom's an addict, or let them go with her, or do, I let them go into the system? Because I didn't know where they were going to go if they didn't go to my mom. But I also didn't want them to be with my mom because she's an addict herself. And if I got to get clean, I'm thinking she needs to be clean too. Well, the day of my court date, I went there with the kids and all that and my mom, and I decided to pull my CPS worker to the side, and I was like, I'm ready to get help. I'm just done with this, and my mom's an addict. They can't go to her. So it took forever for me to say it to them, but I knew that it was the best decision that I made. So they were going to go into the States, but by the grace of God, a kid pulled a fire alarm at the courthouse, and he pulled it twice. So my attorney didn't want to meet with me because it was the whole ordeal for, courts to get back online and things like that. So my attorney texted me while I was in the lobby and was like, I need you to take your kids and go to the VOA. So that right there, I just seen God. But I wish I can say that changed my perspective on wanting to get high, because it didn't. Right when they said that, they were like, just make sure you're there by 3. It was like 12 in the morning, 12 noon. And what I did before I went to rehab is go find a bag and got high, and then packed a bag and then took my kids to rehab.
Dang.
Yeah.
You said, forget that, I'm going in, but I ain't going in till I'm lit.
Yes, that was
one last time type of thing?
Yes, it was my one last time type of thing, and I've been clean ever since that day.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
I graduated the VOA, and then I went to 7 counties housing because I knew if I went back to my mom's house, that was going to be my biggest trigger. So I went to 7 counties housing, got out of there, and had my own apartment, but I got into a relationship too fast instead of focusing on my recovery, and that didn't work out. It was just toxic as well, even though I was sober. But I can say today I didn't relapse on me leaving a relationship. I usually relapse because of a breakup, and this time I didn't because I applied the tools that I have.
Oh, that's a great thing. That's a great thing, definitely. See, definitely, one thing I gotta say is, listen, if you're in recovery and definitely just getting in recovery, just recovering or whatever, you need to wait till you get yourself right.
Yes.
Don't just hop into a relationship.
Yes.
I see so many people going into relationships, and then, like you said, you did it. Thank God you didn't relapse, because I've seen people even in this program come in, and then in other programs they come in and they get in a relationship, and I'm like, I don't think you want to do that, man. You need to focus on and get yourself right, man. And they're in recovery too. They need to get themselves right. You don't even know what you want right now, so just get yourself right. Let a lot of time pass, and then start doing it. There's no reason to hop back in the bang. Every single time they break up, they relapse. Yeah,
that was me. That was me with every relapse I had, because I've been to recovery 3 or 4 times. And I've relapsed every time because of one abusive relationship or breakups. Because those are the toughest things to heal from. And this time I was just like, I'm going to use all my tools that I have, because I don't want to be back out there. I thought of myself first and then my children, because I have to come first in order to be able to take care of my kids.
Yeah. You got to. You got to be able to take care of yourself before you're able to take care of someone else.
Exactly.
And help yourself before you can help someone else.
Yep.
And that's a great thing that you did. Take that step forward to get that help. And being honest. Honest is key. People stop lying. People are not out there trying to hurt you as much as you think they are, man. People out here trying to help you.
Yeah.
But I think it's the paranoid thing, like, hey, you know what, man, if I lose this, listen, go get help.
Yeah.
That's why I try to tell people all the time. Listen, just go get help. Don't just beat yourself up across the block. If you're down at the time, there's people out there who will help you. They're not trying to just use you and abuse you and things. You got some people who are, but when you got programs out there and people out there who's trying to help you, and go to these programs, and continue to fight the good fight, man, because it's hard out there, but definitely make good decisions on whatever you got to do to work on yourself. And that's how I look at it. You got to help yourself out, or everyone around you, you're just going to be toxic to them.
Yeah. Trust me, I wish I could say I was ready to go into recovery when they told me to. I did not want to. I wanted to stay put. I wanted to continue to do the things that I was doing and hide the fact that I am an addict, because I didn't want no one to know. That was my biggest fear. If I go to rehab, everyone's going to know I'm an addict. I did not want no one to know. But if it wasn't for them, telling me and trying, my CPS worker, investigator, or whatever you want to call her, she pushed me and kept pushing me to want to go to rehab, and I just was not having it. But the more she kept pushing me, and the more she was like, don't you want a better life? I sat there and I thought, I do want a better life. And I was like, I might as well go get help. Trust me, I did not want to, but I did it. And of course, no one wants to go to rehab. But once you do go to rehab, you just find more of yourself in there. You become a better person. I would not be sitting here right now if I didn't just get up and go.
That's great.
Yeah.
She said a good thing. Get up and go. If you need help today, get up and go. If you need help, and you're in a Louisville area, don't forget, you can holler at First Step Recovery. They will be happy to help you. So you made a turn. You went to rehab. You got right. Feeling good. Started moving right. And so how have things been for you so far since you've been at First Step?
Things have been great. Like I said, I had got out of a relationship, and I was working at Nord's Bakery before here. And
I heard they got some good food.
Oh, they do got some really good donuts. Everyone loves them. But anyways, I got out of a relationship, and right when I got out that relationship, good things started happening to me. I got a text from someone that works here and was like, come in for an interview. And I did that, the next day. And I've been here ever since July, I believe. And it's been great. Like, I love working with the clients. Like, they help me more than they know it, I know I help them, but they help me too. Like, and I never forget where I came from. I was in their seats like a year and 4 months ago, So I always, when I'm talking to them, I have to tell myself, like, of course there's going to be some good days and bad days with them, because there were some good and bad days with me when I was in recovery. Yeah. I mean, I'm still in recovery because I'm still learning recovery every day. But I love it here. The people are amazing. The clients are amazing. Like, I feel at home when I'm actually in here. And I'm able to get up and go to work and not be mad. Like, I used to hate getting up at 6 and going to work and, slaying donuts. Now I'm like, I got to go to work. I'm ready to teach a class. So, yeah.
You feel like you found your purpose?
I do. I truly do, because I love doing what I'm doing, Like, there's some days I'll be like, I'm scared about what the topic's going to be, but then I have to remember, like, it's just stuff that I've already been through. So if I just share my strength and, what I've been through, then maybe I can help the next person.
Nice. So do you feel like it's important with people on the recovery to actually just to give back and help other people? You think that's an important thing with recovery?
I think it's very important. I went to a program where there was a lot of people who weren't in recovery that, tried to teach classes, and I felt like I didn't get much out of that program. Versus the program I graduated from, the VOA, there was people there who, was in recovery and had an addiction. I feel like I learned a lot more from those who were in addiction because they've been through what I've been through. They understand what I'm going through. They've literally have lived the life that I lived. Yeah. So I think it's very important that people who, get sober share their experience, strength, and hope.
That's a great thing. I think the same thing also. It's important. Once you get the help, once you learn the knowledge, just pass it down.
Yeah.
All good knowledge, pass it down to the next generation. And because we got people out here, young people, they're destroying themselves out here. And they're on drugs, and they're shooting up half the city. They being drunk, high, and they can't control their anger, can't control their emotions. ODing, all type of stuff, and accidental deaths, and so much happening. We need to do it for us and for the youth. It's very important, important, I think. So what are some of your goals that you have for the future, some of the future plans that you might have or be brewing up on?
So I do want to go back to school, and I want to further my career. I think I want to be a therapist. So I always wanted to be a therapist, but now that I've been like in recovery and that I'm working and teaching these classes, I feel like I can help someone. So I definitely want to, give back and be a therapist. I love to listen to people's problems. So that's one of my goals. Also, another goal is to get stronger into teaching my recovery. Like I said, I just started in July, so there's some things that I do need to work on. So that's one of my goals. And another goal is long-term sobriety. I want to definitely stick to long-term sobriety.
That's a great thing to hear. Appreciate that. Hey, I thank you for coming on and definitely telling your story.
Yeah, of course.
And you've been doing a great job, most definitely.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you would like to tell the people? Let them know that right now.
I just say, if you are in the madness right now, do not be scared to reach out and get help, because we all are here to help. And I promise you, once you get the help, you will feel so much better, and you'll just have a better life, the life that you want to live. So get the help.
That's great. Get the help, people, and listen. Don't be too hard on yourselves. You come into the programs. They're not here to judge you. They're just here to help you. Discipline is mandatory. You have to learn to discipline yourself, discipline your flesh, discipline your body, your mind. So you'll be able to overcome. And when situations happen, you won't just go back to using. Yeah. You won't go back to abusing yourself again. You'll learn. Just learn. The mistakes you don't try to do it yourself. Just realize you are powerless to do it yourself. You need help. God first. You know what I say? And stay strong. I love you all, and have a blessed day.